Good afternoon, boys and girls. I am here to do our third grade read aloud of Superfudge. Okay, we started yesterday, I believe it was chapter 5, but then I stopped in the middle of it because these chapters are super long. So I'm just going to look back a little bit to see where we left off. Okay, we see that, oh, that's right. Okay, I just read a little bit and I remembered that Peter and his family have moved to a new neighborhood. They used to live in a city and now they're trying to live in more of a neighborhood like you and I live in, with houses and grass and a backyard. And he's not too happy about it. There's been a lot of changes in his family so far with the new baby, Tootsie. Okay, he also has his annoying brother, Fudgy, who's silly to me, but annoying to Peter a lot of the times. So they just showed up in their new neighborhood, and Peter met a new friend. And I forget what his name was, so let me look back. And, oh, why can't I remember? I think it was something Santos, right? Alex? Was his friend Alex? All right, well, I'll read on. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yes, Alex. Okay, and they are going to do a new business of selling worms. So they're digging worms together, and things are looking a little better for Peter since he has a friend in his new neighborhood. All right. On our way to Mrs. Mulder's house, I thought I remembered reading that worms regenerate when you cut them in half, but I wasn't sure. So I asked Alex if he'd ever tried that. Sure, said Alex. Plenty of times. And what happens? Nothing. You get 2 little worms. Right. And if Miss Mulder pays you 5 cents a worm, a small smile spread across Alex's face. I see what you mean, he said. How come I never thought of that? So they're thinking of getting a worm, cutting it in half so they have more worms to sell. I didn't answer. We dumped our worms out on the sidewalk and cut all but one in half. That one was big enough to cut into thirds. So now, instead of 16 worms, we had 33. Mrs. Mulder lived in an old house that was painted gray with blue shutters. Alex rang her bell. A big, round woman with hair the color of her house and glasses halfway down her nose came to the door. She wore sneakers and blue jeans and a red and white shirt. Well, hello, Alex. Long time no see. Hi, Mrs. Mulder. I've got a new partner now, Alex said. She looked me over the rims of her glasses. I'm Peter Hatcher. We just moved in down the street. She kept looking at me, so I kept talking. In the Waltmans' house. Millie and George Wentman. I'm sorry, let me say that again. In the Wentmans' house. Millie and George Wentman. They're friends of my mother and father. We're just here for the year, to see how we like being away from the city. Are you finished? She asked. Yes. Good. Then let's get down to business. We've got 33 for you today, Mrs. Mulder. Real beauties, Alex said. 33. She held up the jar and studied them. They look awfully small. Small ones are sweeter, I said. She gave me a strange look this time. So I quickly added, they'll get bigger later in the summer. Really? I should think they'd be at their best now. Oh, no, I told her. They'll be getting fatter and longer by August, and by September, they'll be in their prime. Is that a fact? She asked. Uh-huh, I said, praying that she wouldn't guess I didn't know what I was talking about. Well, live and learn, Mrs. Mulder said. She went inside and came back with her wallet. I feel like Mrs. Mulder knew their trick. I don't know, but she's just playing along now. You know, she told us, I could go down to the filling station and buy a container of worms, but I think freshly dug ones are so much better. She opened her wallet. Let's see. 5 cents times 33 worms, that's $1.50. She handed the money to Alex. Excuse me, Mrs. Mulder, Alex said, but it's $1.65. Mrs. Mulder laughed. Can't fool you, can I, Alex? No, Mrs. Mulder, not when it comes to math. Would you like more worms next week? Of course. As many as you can bring me. You can't have too many worms, you know. Alex gave me a look, and we thanked Mrs. Mulder and walked away. Once we were out of earshot, Alex said, "Smaller ones are sweeter," and he gave me an elbow in the ribs. "Worm soup tonight," I told him, and we exploded laughing. At supper, Mom got Tootsie into her sling, and the five of us went off to Baskin-Robbins ice cream. We got there. Fudge walked up to the girl behind the counter and said, "Worm ice cream." "Beg pardon?" the girl said. "Worm ice cream," he repeated. "We don't have—" "For flavor of the month," Fudge told her. "Worm ice cream." "Are you saying—" she began. "Yes, he is," I said. "Worm. That's W-O-R-M. "I can spell," the girl said, annoyed, "but I really don't think that people would go for that flavor." "Some people would, right, PETA?" "Sure," I said. "Some people right in this town might think it's terrific." "Look, kids, we're very busy tonight, so cut out the wise guy stuff and tell me what you want." "I'll have a chocolate chip mint sundae with the works," I told her. "And I'll have a fudge ripple cone," Fudge said. "Just like my name." "Oh, your name is Cone?" she asked. "No." "Ripple?" "No. I suppose you're going to tell me it's Fudge, right?" "That's right," Fudge said, chinning himself on the counter. "Cute kid," she mumbled to herself. "Real cute." Okay, so we're going to stop there. That's the end of chapter 5. All right, we met a new character, Mrs. Mulder, who Alex and Peter are selling their worms to. Okay, I think she was a little on to their trick, but we'll see if she says anything. I wanted to know, too, do you think that Mrs. Mulder really eats the worms? I don't know. Why does she need so many? Why does she like them every day? What does she do with them? Lots of questions about that. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow for chapter 6. And chapter 6 is called, just to give you, Farley Drexel meets Ratface. Farley Drexel. Who's Farley? Farley Drexel is actually Fudge's real name. Fudge is just his nickname. So we'll have to see who Ratface is. Bye-bye. Have a good afternoon. Miss y'all.